I've got onto this. I spent yesterday scraping all the paint off I put on that because it was just coming off, and I've sprayed it full coat of silver. Now, there is something about silver that defies masking tape. What I'm intending to do now, I'm going to put some stencils on this, and I've just made some here just by printing something out of my computer with a little box, lining it up on my cutting board, putting a piece of this clear book cover. So that's going on the magazine, somewhere around there, and I'm going to tape that on, mask it off, spray that white, and then when it's dry, fill it with red. I'm going to spray a red patch there, then I'll stick those on, and then this is going to get sprayed white, and this will get sprayed silver. But before I do any of that, I'm going to go over it with the clay to put the wear marks on them, you know. Okay guys, you can just see the clay I've put on. So this area is just going to be the black metal, that's going to be white. I'm going to have my big red numbers on the side just for a bit more colour. Cut off a bit of the backing paper, and because I've cut the bottom line on a straight line, I can line it up with this little mould line here, press that down and lock it in place. Yep, it's sticking. So now I can fold this up, gently, hopefully peel off all the rest of the backing, and it actually looks like it's going to work. Now what I don't want this doing is flipping back and getting all screwed up, because stuff that sticks to things really likes sticking to itself, and it just fell into place. You just want to do misting at the moment, you don't want to put on heavy coats. Here's the foregrip, nice light coat of it there, and I'll do another one of those now. It doesn't take long to dry when you mist it, and it's as warm as it is today here. So as you can see, 3 or 4 more little light coats like that and it'll be fine. Next morning I'm going to take off this stencil, see how we did. As you can see, I've sprayed it pretty solid red, so it should be a good effect. Here we go. I'm liking the look of that. Okay, I can already see a little bit of overspray, but nothing great. Let's try that again. A little bit more stuff stuck there. Yeah, that's pretty good. So, just require a tiny little bit of touch up, but when it gets all dirtied up, it'll look fantastic. So, last bit. Here is the fore end. I didn't want the white to show the red through and look pink, so I sprayed it black. So now I'm just going to mask off this piece. We're done. Put it together. Alright, back soon. At this stage, when all the painting's done, before I take off the clay and stuff and do the weathering, I put it together because you'll find places you've missed. Like that there. Mask off a bit there, so that's got to be painted white. And there are a couple of bits on the butt too. Really happy with how it turned out, except for one problem. It scratched all the paint off there on both sides. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the gun apart, clean off the clay. I'm going to grind out these areas here quite a lot. Gently put this on and never remove it again. And also, when you put it together, you'll see things you need to do, like plunger, that needs to be painted black. Well, we've had a little bit of luck here. First, we've got one of these switches, I don't know what it was for, I don't know, but I'm going to use it for the trigger. And it just happens to have this nice cut off on the back of the circuit board, so it fits there perfectly. Like that. Pull the trigger, press the button. Excellent. So what I've done, there's two holes in it, I've just put a couple of screws through it. And what I'm going to do, scruff that up. I'm going to put a bit of epoxy putty in there, push them in, use a screwdriver to push it around for the side, and it'll be fixed, simple fix straight away. Then we've got the switch. I'm going to have an on-off switch. What I'm going to do is just get the Dremel and cut out a bit of plastic here, run it down and put it just here on the outside. So the idea of having the laser sight on this trigger I'm not going to do, simply because if it slips it means I've got to pull out the whole gun to redo it. I've only got a little bit of wire here on the end of this positive, but I'm just going to solder it to the actual positive tab in the original battery box. And the black wire, I've got tons of black wire, and I'll solder it to the negative. So what I'm planning to do on the inside is just solder a 9-volt battery connector. And inside of the gun is done. Yay! Got all our wiring set up. Putty's nice and set. Positive to positive, up to the on-off switch, back up to the motor, other side of the motor, back to the two existing connectors. So just whack this in place. That's negative, that's negative, that's positive. Positives are hard to get to contact, so I'll just have to hold it and let's see what happens. Okay, there's a switch on. Turn the switch off. So, we're good to go. Right, here's one of the fun things, putting this in. So what I've done, just cut a couple of grooves in there, drilled a hole through the side, so, okay, there we go. Allen key comes through from the side. Of course I never had this much trouble when I first did it. But there we go. Yeah, they've got that, it's got that little slot just there. And it just sits down there. So when you're holding it with your hand, just hit the button. Kill! Okay, following directly on from that, mounting this little bit. Now this is going to be fun, see if I've got enough headspace in there. So what I've got is a little screw back here on both sides, plus I've utilised that gigantic hole up there with a nut and bolt. Fine, there it is. There's the problem, it's the nut holding the gun. These should be lined up with their hole that they go into. I know if they're not because they start lifting the piece, but that worked. Hey guys, of course I've got carried away again and started doing the dirtying and the weathering without turning the camera on, but you can see some of it now. Pretty straightforward, just Tamiya matte black 50/50 with their thinner all over, and then just wipe it off. And as I found out in the last build, if there's too much, you can just get a little bit of terps on your rag and take off bits of it. Oh, when you're using your paper towels, use the soft stuff. It's just a lot easier to get into places. Found that the harder stuff, like the stuff you'd find in a workshop bathroom, it tends to actually run across the surface and leave lines. I've got to keep going because I've started. Among other things, fought. Well, that's pleasantly surprising. Well, that's good. Not too bad. Because this is supposed to replicate dirt, I should do rubber grips and stuff. That'll help bring out the detail in it as well. I don't know if you can see, there's a little zip click here, and a little thing on the far side is the laser switch, which I've fitted. Right guys, the final bit, the airbrushing. a light tanny brown first. This is for the soot, the carbon flash, all that sort of thing. Here we go. And because this piece is cylindrical, I've got to go around it sort of evenly in the camera. Around the vents. Here. This is just like carbon scoring and dirt and muck. So there's going to be a crap load around here. Oh great, and I've just actually poured the paint on the gun. That was genius. It takes absolute genius to do something like that. I'm going to have lots of black on the white, so I've got to put lots of brown on. Vent there too. And around the cocking handle. If you've ever fired a machine gun, and I have, after you finish firing you get stuff smoking out of all sorts of little crevices around things. Oh, and I've got to remember the 2 bullet marks. I got my beautiful wife, who has much better handwriting than me, to write the knock knock entry gun, soldier's joke, and I'm out of paint. Okay, I'll get some black mixed up and I'll get back to you. Give it a go with the black. This is just the same black wash I put on, it's just been thickened up a bit with a bit more of the paint. Ah, brilliant! Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Now, seeing how I've just managed to spill paint on it again, I'm not going to try and film this while I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it, then I'll turn the camera back on. Okay, bye. Right guys, we're done. I mixed up some copper for some metallic grey and some orange and painted these little things just to make them stand out. Little occupational safe and healthy gone mad, live rounds. The knock knock on the front, almost obscuring one of the K's. I've dry brushed the little bullet holes with some silver so they stand out again. Laser works. As usual, I'll take some nice photos on a white background and put it at the end of the movie, and they'll be on my DA page as well. Final assembly, all done. Got battery in it, got it wired up, got belt with bullets. I've found I've had to put my little piece of wind chime in to stop the bullet carriers getting caught at the front end. Other than that, other problems were I had a screw coming in from the other side pushing on the trigger, so as soon as I connected the battery up it started firing, so I had to sort out that. Did the grinding on that, still managed to scratch off some paint, so I'm going to repaint that and never take this off again. Oh, and here's something cool. I had a piece of fiberglass on the inside up here stopping it from being cocked, but when I cut that away I discovered that the a little bar on the cocking mechanism comes back, so I painted it red just for a cool little effect. Okay, here we go. Cocking the gun. Switch on. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? There we have it. The M23 assault shotgun. And for next time, I've got this idea. Bye.